Hey guys, it's Justin again with another work in progress for the MACHANICORE ZERSTÖRE. This is going to be work in progress number 5, I think. Yeah, 5. This is on the waist unit. We did the hips in the last video, the arms in the video before that, and we did 2 videos on the legs. So this is where we're sitting. Nasty mold line there. I'll get that later. This is the waist unit. It's actually not as bad as anything else I've put together up to this point. I had one problem getting this piece in, and I thought it was weird that there's like a screw here that holds a joint that goes this way, and it can turn this way, like it can rotate on that axis. But then you put these 2 pieces on, and it locks it in place, so that doesn't move anymore for no reason. But like I said, it went together with no problems whatsoever. The screws were really nice to work with, really easy to work with. I had no problems whatsoever. It's not even 30 pieces. It might be like, I think 12 or 13, and then these are 2 apiece for each side, or 3 apiece, I'm sorry, and then 2 photo etch pieces. They fit right on there just like that. That fell off. But it fits on pretty good. It's a little snug. I might have to glue that in. And that one does not want to stay in. But that's what your waist unit looks like. That particular piece needs to be glued in. That doesn't stay on its own. Fortunately, I have to paint them separately. I don't know why this one isn't staying, but the other one is. It's not sitting on something. I can't figure out what piece it's rubbing against. I think it's that. Regardless, it needs to be taken apart and it needs to be painted. So this doesn't really move, so it's going to be painted as a block. I'll spray it and then move it and then spray it and make sure that all the pieces are covered. But this is the next piece. There's these 2 little chromed pieces that go in the sides here. I'm going to probably paint those like a duraluminum or something like that. The chrome is nice, but it takes way too long to work, so I'm just going to do duraluminum. It still looks nice. Nobody's going to look at it that close. Plus, I think if I paint a bunch of chrome pieces, it's going to take away from the photo etch pieces in terms of how much shininess is going on in the kit. So I don't want to lose the focus on the pieces that are supposed to have attention drawn to them. But there's where we're sitting, and just for reference, you guys can see this is where we are. I showed this on the last video. Oops. And this just sits right on top of here, just plugs right in. Depending on how the next piece goes, determines whether or not I'm going to go ahead and put this on here sooner than later, or my patience might get the best of me and I might just do it anyway. Hopefully, it doesn't cause any problems in the future. I don't think it will. But after the waist is the chest, so I gotta assemble all this nonsense on top of this, and then I plug the arms into this, so like you can see that's where they sit. You have to excuse me, I'm in the middle of arm surgery. But that's where those sit. So that sits on top of this. It's got a really short waist and chest. But I think it looks good so far. Really happy. Got a couple of touch-ups to do on the arm pieces. The legs look fine. I'm really happy with how they came out. My client's really happy with how they came out, and I could not be happier. This thing is finally coming along, and it's absolutely massive. It's way too big. But we will come back when I've done a little bit of painting and we can look at all the pieces. I don't think there's a whole lot of decaling going on in this particular into the build. Let's have a look. There are none, 0 decals. So that is a relief. Not crazy about the layout of the decal sheet, but the decals are nice. But we'll go paint this and I'll come back. See you soon. Well, this just might be the shortest one yet. So here's the completed, one of the completed pieces anyway, for the waist armor. And there's the photo etch piece inside. There's the duraluminum piece, and it's all flat coated, it's all shaded, it's all the dark gray. And I realized since this video is so short, I figured I should at least throw something in here for you guys so you guys know how to do something. And this, I'm going to show off how to do photo etch. And this is just how I've been doing it. I've been told to use super glue, so I'm using medium CA glue. It just gives you a really good bond and it dries relatively clear if you don't put it on too thick. I'm just putting a dot of it on this toothpick and I'm rubbing it on the back of this because you don't want a bunch of glue on the outside of the piece because it changes the way light bounces off of it. It changes the color, it changes a lot. And you just literally drop it on the piece, and then if you work quickly enough you can kind of move it where you want it and that glue will kick in and it'll just stay where it needs to be. It's really easy, really quick, takes no effort at all, and you can apply this to most of your kits because you can buy those. I've seen them on eBay. I think USA Gundam sells them, the Gundam photo etch parts, and you can just put the photo etch pieces on any of your kits really. But that's how I've been doing the photo etch on this guy. Oh, I just lost the thrusters. My batteries have still not yet arrived. But here's the waist unit on the hips and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these in here. And we're good to go. So the waist is done. So next we need to put the skirt armor on here when that comes along, but I think it's safe to call this half done. I have to fix the arms still. The fingers are a lot better on these. The only problem I had was that the hands themselves are a little smaller, so I had to actually put both. I have to change both of them. But here is where we sit. I got to tighten up the wrist joint with a little bit of glue. Other than that, it works just fine. The hands are really nice. I have to touch up some paint on the underside, and there's like a little scratch right here on this that needs to be fixed. But for the most part, we are a little over halfway, and I'm extremely pleased with my progress and where we've come and where we are. So the next order of business is going to be the chest, getting all that put on top of this. So I got to fix the hands before I do that, just so that I can get everything squared away and everything done and ready, so that I can mount these arms to the unit and put everything around that so that it stands the way it's supposed to. I believe after that is the shoulder units, not the shoulder units, but like the things that sit up here and go down the back, those really long things. Then is the head, and then the shoulder units, and then equipment, and skirts and all that. It's really odd the way they go about it. I think I might skip ahead and get the skirts done after I do some of this, just so I can put those in and get them all done. But you do the shoulders, then you do, because you do chest, then it's shoulders, then it's like the head, and then you come back and you put the rest of the shoulder, like the chest armor on when you put the shoulder units together. And then you put like the shoulder core, and then there's the front and the back to each side is their own step. Each skirt has its own step, and it's a whole thing. So I've got a good bit of photo etch left, so I don't know where all this is going to go. I mean, I know that these are skirts, and I know that these are shoulders, and these are shoulders, I believe. But like these go on the shield. I don't know what the rest of half of these are. I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. I know there's little fins and stuff that stick out of the head and other pieces on the kit. I'm going to try and work up a temporary solution for those so they don't get broken in transit back to the customer. But this is where we are. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we can get started on the next part immediately. So I will see you soon. Later.